Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Mama Bear. We're so excited to be here. This is now episode 4, technically.
I'm here to stay with wisdom and warmth. Let's light the way. Together we'll laugh, together we'll share. In this cozy space, it's love and care.
I guess we should address that last week we said it was episode 3. However, there was a small malfunction with the episode 2, so we never got to release it. But we have recorded 4 episodes as of this one.
It's so funny. We always joke that like my husband Aaron is our producer, and we got super overconfident the day he wasn't there for episode 2. We're like, we don't need him. We got this on our own. And it turns out we do not got this.
No, and it was not salvageable.
No. So we did everything we could in episode 2. However, as good as I thought it actually was, like I think we had some good content and we actually refer back to it often. It's not salvageable. So
yes, well, which is fine. So anyways, moving on. This is episode 4.
Yeah.
And originally we planned on this being an episode where we sat down with Bree's husband, Aaron, and spoke about his surgery that he just had. However, with it being close to the holidays, it didn't work out. So we're actually doing a little Zoom or Google Meet episode here, if you will, where it'll just be a quick little update on where we are, what we're doing, and a little information about traveling with kids. And then we will postpone that episode until Bree is back from her trip, and then we will do that episode then.
Yeah, so February, keep your eyes open for the Aaron surgery update. And until then, we've got some other fun things to chat about.
Yeah, all right. Let's start off with how are you doing? How has your morning been there in Florida?
Yeah, so I'm so happy we are in Florida. I always joke, we've come to Florida a few times over the last few years, and I text all my like Floridian friends like, bust out your winter jackets, bust out your umbrellas, like we're coming, because we always seem to bring like the cold weather with us without fail. So sure enough, we showed up I think 4 days ago now, and we're staying for the month, which is so much fun. But when we showed up, it was like almost newsworthy, like record-breaking cold weather has hit Florida. Maybe not that extreme, but like everyone around here is like bundled up in winter coats, and I can't complain because I know Canada has been hit with like some pretty good snow or a snowstorm, I believe.
It is actually quite frigid here today. It's beautiful. I love it. I love looking at it from my window.
Yeah, exactly. And so I can't complain. Like we're not in a winter coat by any means, but the last 3 days we were like, I was still in like a spring jacket and cold. Like it was not nice here. So yes, we're in Florida. We're super happy to be away on holiday, but looking forward to the sun coming out and enjoying some of this, warmer weather that we came down here for. So
yeah, you're there for quite a few weeks. So hopefully as your week progresses, it gets warmer and warmer.
Yeah, I think
we plan
to go up.
We plan to go in April, and originally I know I had said on the podcast that I was going to drive, but we have kind of altered that idea. I think we're going to fly now.
Yes.
Honestly, it's just I don't think it was going to work out packing wise and stuff. But anyways, I hope to not have that curse.
Listen, we were going to do that same thing. So Aaron drove down here, and I was going to drive with him in Everest. We're like, we got this. We'll make a few stops. But over, I think you're a little naive when you first have a baby. We've had this book since I was like, 20 weeks pregnant or so. Something to look forward to. Everest was going to be 4 months. It's going to be great. But then even just driving like an hour to go see my family in Canada, that was a lot. Like drives are a lot with a little baby, and I'm exclusively breastfeeding, so it just became too much. So to do the 24-hour drive down here, it's just not happening. So Aaron actually left a few days ahead of us, took Brooklyn and my dog with him. And Brooklyn's not a small dog, so that was kind of a big feat. So him and his friend drove down, took Brooklyn with him, and then I flew out a couple days later. So
and then are you all driving back, or is he driving alone and you're flying?
We might do the same thing on the way back, and last minute be like, you know what? Again, we're like, hey, he'll be 5 months. It'll be much easier. The drive will go great. But then I can totally see us like a few days before or a week before being like, you know what? Let's just have him drive and I'll fly back.
So the plan right now is for you guys to drive. But the good thing is you both work from home. So if you needed to stop somewhere for a night or two because
For
you need
sure.
like a break from the road, you can always do that because you're not on such a strict time. I mean, I know you need to get home to your other dogs
Totally.
in your house, but
Yeah, so right now we're planning to go across. So we're on the Gulf side of Florida, and we hope to go across the Atlantic side, visit some friends, head from there to Virginia, visit some friends, and then drive, maybe stop in Atlanta, which is like, a little over the halfway point, kind of out of the way, and then finish the drive. So we'll see. Even if we make it to Virginia and then I decide to fly out from there, who knows? It would just suck to like kind of leave Aaron alone for the rest of the drive.
yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. It's a lots going on here.
Yeah. Well, okay. So how did Everest do on his first flight? Because he's only 4 months old, and
Oh my gosh. Well, I think we should rewind a little bit just to my first night alone with Everest.
okay, yeah, let's do that.
Aaron left, right? So Aaron came down and flew down here, and I was by myself for like 48 hours. And I guess that's super dramatic to say I'm by myself. My dad and my stepmom came and stayed with me. So I did have help, but
Oh,
I've not been without Aaron, I guess. So it was tough. We're doing not sleep training, but helping Everest learn to fall asleep on his own. And that job normally falls on Aaron. Like I get Everest ready for bed, I put him down, and then if he doesn't settle within so long, there's like a formula we follow, and Aaron typically takes that. So he'll go and manage that, and that's like gave me like a lot of anxiety, like, oh,
yeah.
will I be able to help that? Like if Everest makes any sound, typically I'm like, a little quicker to pick him up, even though he's going to settle himself. So I was like, oh gosh, am I going to be able to do this? Anyway, it went super well. Everest settled great. That night went really well, but I was just so anxious because I'm like, in the morning, we had to leave at 6 a.m. to get to the airport. And I was like, am I going to be able to get up in time, get myself, it's one thing to get yourself up and ready, all those like last minute things packed, and get the house ready for all the people who are watching our house. We have like 4 different groups of people watching the house, had to get everything ready for that. And then get him up ready early enough that he was going to be tired enough to fall asleep again in the car. That was kind of my thinking, is if I wake him up like maybe an hour and a half before we go in the car, get him fed, get him dressed, get all of his things, like his monitor, his sound machine, all the things that we were actively using packed away, and do that all by myself. So again, it was kind of chaotic. Luckily, we got him packed all up, and he fell right asleep in the car. He slept the whole 2.5 hours to the airport, and then the airport just pushed him around the stroller, and he was amazing. Like, it was obviously past his wake window time, and not a fuss, not a sound. He did so good. And then on the flight, he was super good, to the point that people were like, oh my gosh, you're such a, well-behaved baby. And we're like, gosh, it's such a, not a fluke, but definitely a surprise.
But that's great though. That'll give you a false sense of courage and
Absolutely.
confidence for next time you travel.
Yeah, totally. So then we get off, and then Aaron picked us up from the airport and drove us back here. But with that all being said, I had quite the scare going into all this. I remember you had messaged me about what happened with my strollers. Oh,
Yeah, I had asked you because you had said something about you having a marketplace mess up or of some kind.
And boy, I've always bragged to the fact that like when we were getting everything for the baby ready, we were like pretty thrifty. We're like, oh, sometimes people don't really use their baby goods, so you can buy it secondhand and they're just as good, as long as you're like, careful about it, wash it up, whatever.
Oh yeah, I've bought lots of secondhand. It's been great, yeah.
So I've always kind of bragged about that a little bit, like, oh yeah, look at us, we found all the good deals, whatever. The stroller one I felt really confident about. We went to Up a Baby Vista V2. I don't know if you know that one, but that's the one that was all the rage. Everyone's talking about it. We got a good deal from this like grandmother who'd hardly used her Vista. So like, okay, great, we bought it, and it's been wonderful. We got the matching car seat separately, also used. And time goes on to now. Everest has outgrown his bassinet, and it's not nice for him to sit in that car seat long term. So we were getting ready to put him in the toddler seat in the Up a Baby. So we're like talking through the travel plans. We're like, okay, we got to transition him into this toddler seat. How do we make this happen? So we're like, let's go down, just get set up now, and we'll feel good about it. So we go down, we go to set it all up. We're trying to put the toddler seat in, and we're like, what the heck? It's like, it's not going in. So we're Googling, and turns out the UPPAbaby Vista V2 is like a double seater. So like you can have baby at top.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can combo.
Yeah.
So turns out when you buy it new, you get the toddler seat, which is like the main seat, right? Like if you're not in the car seat or the bassinet, they're in this main toddler seat. And then you can add the rumble seat in addition to the toddler seat. That one can only go at the bottom, I believe. So when we bought it used, we got that rumble seat instead of the
but not the toddler seat.
So and to us, they look identical, right?
So do they come? So typically, when you buy it new, does it come with both?
No, it just comes with the toddler seat.
So I'm curious. Did they accidentally give you the wrong seat?
Either that, or they probably was like more used, like more worn, and so they just didn't include it. But last minute, we're freaking out. We're like, okay, so this orientation is not going to work out, right? Like we need a toddler seat. So we're looking everywhere to buy a toddler seat. No one on Marketplace is selling their bundle without the toddler seat, because that's the main piece, right?
Right.
Go on UPPAbaby's website, Amazon, everything. You cannot buy the toddler seat separate.
That's very odd. You should be like, what if something were to happen to your toddler seat, like a
No.
or
So if you bought it new, you can return with like, oh, here's my order number. And they'll send, you can buy it that way. Oh my goodness. So we're sitting there like 2 days before we leave, and we're like, now we need
Did you think to message the person that you bought it from at all?
No, they lived like 4 or 5 hours away. Maybe I should have been like, you screwed us kind of thing. But the other thing is, at the time when we bought it, it's very likely that they told us, hey, it comes with the rumble. First of all, it was a great deal. So probably because it didn't have the toddler seat. And they likely said, this is the rumble seat. But at the time, when you don't know the ins and outs of all the seats,
I would have had no idea what that meant. Yeah.
You're like, they look identical. So you're like, yes, that's the seat we need, you know?
Yeah. Because you don't have to. So you're like thinking, I don't need the bottom one. Yeah.
Right. The other thing we did was like, we'd also bought this like Ergo baby bouncer setup. We also bought that used, and we thought, oh, great. They said they'd never use it. It was great. We pull it out. It didn't come with the like infant insert, you know, and the infant will go in it with infant insert. And so we are scouring the web. You cannot buy the infant insert separately unless you bought it new. So same thing. So now we have this baby thing that can't, anyway.
So word of warning, if you're buying secondhand, be very careful.
I guess you just have to do your homework more and like understand the jargon of it all. Like without having a baby, I was unaware that like that when the baby's so little, they needed the infant insert. So to me, it's like, it looked the same online. It's like, yeah, that comes with all the pieces. It's great. But
yeah.
So anyway, long story short, we called Snugglebugs in London, and we're like, we need to get another stroller. We need it stat. We also need a car seat. We ended up buying a new car seat because we didn't want to check one. We need one down here. So the lady was able to sell us like another UPPAbaby, but the jogging stroller, the Ridge.
Yep.
Obsessed. And a new car seat. And because that car seat was their floor model, we got 10% off for every year. That's a 2022 or 20, whatever it was. We got 40% off.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And then we got the Ridge, the stroller. And Everest, I don't know, he slept so good in that car seat and so good in the stroller. And I like attribute it to them being like new and awesome, and he loves them. So overall, although it was so chaotic and we had to like run around last minute and get all these things, we now have a new stroller, and Everest seems to love it. So
good. It all worked out. It all worked out. Now tell me about the picture that you sent me the other day on the plane, from the plane.
Oh no. Yes. Okay. So yes, I must admit, traveling wasn't totally smooth. I tried to feed Everest on the takeoff and on the landing, and
because they recommend to do that. A little tip: they recommend to do that for ear popping.
Yeah.
So if you are traveling with a breastfed baby, breastfeed them while you're landing or taking off, and it'll help with the popping of their ears because they're constantly swallowing.
Yeah, so they're constantly swallowing. And I had timed it perfect. I was like so proud of myself. We sit down. Okay, we're taxiing. I'm like, all right, let's feed. Get him a nice full feeding. It was great. And then we got delayed, and we had to go through de-icing. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So now we'd had a full feeding. He's not very hungry. So by the time we took off, he was not wanting to really eat. So I like gave him a forced feeding, like keep swallowing, buddy, keep swallowing. It's for your own good.
Yeah.
So he was good on the way up. On the way down, everyone was freaking out that their ears were popping. Like everyone, I was looking at everyone's like this. I was fine, but I'm like Everest kept spitting out, didn't want to eat. And I was like, come on, please keep eating. So anyway, that worked really well. But on both takeoff and landing, he had a major blowout, like up his back. And I only packed one extra outfit. So on the way up, when he exploded, easy, clean him up, take the outfit off, switch. I'm like, I prepared for this. I feel great.
I am on the ball.
Well, throw anything at me. I got this. But on the landing, I don't know. I guess I didn't expect. No one warned me for this. Now I'll always have multiple, changes of clothing. But we land on the landing again, big blowout, and this time it's like I've got him wrapped in his blanket, and I'm wearing a white sweater. It's on me. It's on him. It's on the blanket. It's
so
everywhere.
In your extra clothes, did you pack yourself an extra outfit?
No, I didn't. Now the whole drive from the airport back, like I probably could have gone through my luggage, but like, yeah, we were all covered in poop. So yeah, that was kind of nasty, but I guess you live and you learn.
That's so funny. So tip number 2, bring 2 extra pairs of clothes as well as one for yourself. I've never been on a plane with my youngest was almost 2 years old when we last went on a plane, and that was the first time I'd taken my kids on a plane. So I never traveled with like really small babies. A little bit different. Like when we went to Mexico last year, and it was different. It was their first time on a plane, but we just brought like, toys, and they actually did really, really well. Yeah. But yeah, I've never traveled with like an infant.
Yeah. And it was like bringing our entire lives, like the pack and play. We bought a new mattress while we were down here for the pack and play, bring the monitor. It's like, we literally brought our diaper genie. Like we brought everything. Cause we're like,
well, the thing about you guys is you're there for you're there for a month, right?
Yeah. Plus like we're in this house for a month. And if we do any other traveling, call it 5 weeks, right?
Right. So it's not like you're just down there for a week or two. Yeah. It's like a whole, that's hilarious that you brought your diaper genie. I would have just garbage bagged and throw it outside. Yeah. But I mean,
we did also drive, and Aaron had like a bit of extra space in the trailer. So we're like, well, what else do we want?
I will actually say with Emerson, with my first daughter, I used the diaper genie religiously. Yeah. And then by the time I hit Nora, I don't know what it was, but I just started
throwing it in the garbage.
Decluttering. And I just wanted to like get rid of things that no longer I thought I wanted in my eyesight. So so the diaper genie made its way downstairs, and I just started throwing when she was still like having bowel movements regularly because she was small, like Everest. But once it was like, not as frequent, I started putting them in the outside garbage so that I didn't have to deal with the diaper genie anymore.
Yeah.
But I did love my diaper genie when I had it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just one of those luxuries that like we totally didn't need, but because we had extra space, we're like, throw it in.
Why not? Yeah.
I can't lie, love to have it. I hate a stinky diaper. So
it's true. Yeah,
that's kind of my update. We're down here, like I said, primarily for Aaron to do a bit of work and check out the Florida scene. But other than that, we'll be back. And
where in Florida are you?
Sarasota. So
Sarasota, okay.
Little fun tidbit. We would love to one day be snowbirds. So that's what it's called, right? So
I have no idea.
We'll go down south for the winter.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds right.
So we would love to do that. We'd love to like get some property down here. So we're like trying to scope out the scene and see like which neighborhood we like over the next few years. So this year we're Sarasota, checking it out. Beautiful area. We're in Arlington Park.
Have you been to Cape Coral?
No, I've never.
That's where we're thinking about going.
Okay.
That's where we've been looking as of right now. Because there's some cute little places out there. So.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, so I am not in the warmth.
No, you're
But
holding down the snowy front.
I know I got my tea here. You'd like this cup, but it's probably backwards for you. But it says there's no place like home,
Oh, that
Dorothy.
is
So actually, funny story. I had this cup. It was my very favorite cup. My stepmom got it for me. I want to say last year or 2 years ago for Christmas, and I used it every day. I loved it. And my wild child Nora climbed over my couch, smashed the cup onto the marble counter, and it was gone forever. So I was very sad, but I was like, it's okay, no big deal. Mommy doesn't care, crying inside.
Yes.
And then this year for Christmas, my stepmom had gone back to the store that she had gotten it for me and got me another one. So I know that was very sweet. She's like, I know you were so sad when you lost it. So and I was like, I will take better care of this one.
Well, Erin was Dorothy in our public school play.
Yes, great A.
So
Yeah,
it's very
that's true.
fitting.
That's true. Great A. And you know what? I really resonate with that now. There's no place like home is so true.
Yeah.
I love to travel, but I love coming back home.
We always say the same thing, especially last year. We went on a few trips and they were all subpar. Like we had fun, but like our living.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And we had just built our home after like 4 or 5 years of planning. We're like, why are we going anywhere but our own home? We love being home. We spent so long building our home. Why are we traveling?
Even going away for a weekend and coming home, I'm just like, oh, it's like a breath of like a relief just being home.
Oh, yeah. I feel it. I was gonna say,
but this morning, I had to take Emerson to school.
Okay.
And so it's snowy here, so I had to, pack the girls in all their snowsuits. And a couple days ago, I took the sled. I pulled them on the sled. It's really hard though for me to pull them both because it's like, I mean, with them both on there, it's like probably almost 90 pounds. Like it's a lot. So well, maybe not quite, maybe 80 pounds. Anyways, whatever, it's a lot. And then my wagon, I have like a Wonder wagon, but it's hard to push through the snow too. So there's really not like a good way to travel down. And I don't live that far from the school, so I just got the girls to walk. But I didn't realize till we were halfway there that Emerson had one of her little stuffies in her arm. I'm so sorry. I'm about to have a gigantic spaz. There's like a
spider?
No, it's like those stink bugs that come in the winter time. And it was just like flying around. And my dog wants to like go eat it. Okay. Anyways, sorry. I couldn't focus.
Like flew in front of the camera.
Yeah, I know. I was so scared. Okay. So we were walking to school and I didn't realize till we were like halfway there that she had taken one of her little stuffies in her arms. So I'm like, okay, just remember to get that from her when we get to the school and take it home with us, whatever. So we get to the school, I drop her off, and my Nora, my youngest, is being a bit of a handful, and she keeps like dropping. Like we've gotten to the school, but we haven't made it to where her classroom is.
Okay.
So she keeps dropping to her knees and rolling in the snow and won't get up. And when I pick her up, she screams, and it's just like it's a whole ordeal. And I'm like, Emerson's gonna be late for school now. So I'm like trying to I'm like carrying her like a football under my arm, and we're walking to her classroom and whatever. We get there, Emmy goes in. It's great. We get home and I give Nora a snack and she's playing and with her dolls and whatnot. And I'm talking to my mom and we're FaceTiming her. And then I get off my phone and I open it up, and the first thing that pops up, I'm on this group for my local community, and picture of
Stuffy.
her Stuffy, which is a Winnie the Pooh Stuffy, pops up. And I'm like, oh no. And someone goes, I saw this in the snow. I left it in case the person was still dropping their kid off and walked by it again. And I'm like, oh, so I'm like, Emerson's going to be distraught.
Yeah,
so I
pile up.
Right. I pick Nora up. I'm like, we gotta go. I get in the car. I drive down. It's gone. I'm like, no. So I go to the school. I'm like, did anyone hand this in? They're like, it's not here. No one's handed it in. So I'm just like, this was my morning.
Oh, no.
I'm like almost crying at this point. And I'm like, my daughter's going to be so sad. I'm instantly like looking on, trying to find another replacement for this Stuffy, but it was from it's a really old Stuffy, and it was something that her Oma had given her to borrow. So I'm like, I don't even know if it's replaceable at this point.
Oh.
So I'm like messaging on all of my local groups trying to like find the stuffy. I'm like, if anyone finds it, and everyone's so sweet and they're all like, we hope you find it. And one girl's like, I have something similar. If you don't find it, you can have it. Like everyone is so nice. And then just a little while ago, I saw a message and someone had said that they had seen it in one of the other classrooms and that they'll try to get it to the office. So the office knows to return it to Emerson if it's found. So I'm hoping
did like another kid pick it up maybe and bring it?
I'm assuming that's what had happened, and they brought it into their teacher, and the teacher just hadn't like brought it down to the office yet or something. So I'm hoping that Emerson actually comes home with it today.
Oh gosh, wait, are you going to go back to the school when you pick her up and go in the office?
Well, she might just have it because I told the office that if they asked for her name and her grade in classroom, so they said if they found it, they would return it to her.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she just has it with her already. If not, then I'll ask the office. But we'll see what happens at 3:30 today.
We definitely didn't have this on our bingo card of like, oh, one day our biggest problem is going to be finding a stuffy. And like your whole day has now pivoted to locating the stuffy.
Like my whole morning has now been like pretty off because I've just been so upset and distraught about this stuffy. I'm like, we need to find the stuffy.
Yeah, priorities have definitely shifted.
Oh, they've changed. Actually, my husband and I a couple months ago, we just had to stop and laugh because we were just walking to the house, a normal day. It's like we're tired. It's after work. We finally got the girls to bed. We're cleaning up the chaos of the day. And we walk by each other, and our kids have like certain things that they like, right? So I think one of them, or maybe they were in the bath and not in bed yet. Regardless, we were trying to clean up some stuff, and my husband goes, "Have you seen Maui?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's in the playroom." And I'm like, "Have you seen Harry Coo?" And he's to go downstairs. And we just kept walking and went on with our time. And then we kind of backtracked and we were like, "How did we get here? Like, how is this just part of our normal conversation now?"
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah,
that's
feeding her the toys. Have you seen Maui?
Have you seen Maui? And it's just like, yeah, it's downstairs. Like,
you probably know exactly where it is. Yeah, it's next to Buzz Lightyear.
You know what's hilarious is my children actually always do know exactly. Like Emerson has an incredible memory, and she will know exactly where something is. Exactly. And I could go to her and I'm like, "Hey, have you seen Nora's small 2-inch mermaid?" And she's like, "Oh yes, it's in her car seat in the car in the right pocket." Well,
you know what else
in the pocket.
If Nora's trying to talk or communicate and I'm not sure like what she's saying or why she's saying it, I'm like, I mean, what did she say? Like,
yeah,
she's sad because this happened.
Yeah, she does speak good. She speaks good Nora.
Yeah, she speaks good Nora. Or like she's in tune with why Nora's emotions are the way that she is. She'll be like,
yes,
well, she's upset because of this.
I used her as my translator sometimes too. I'm like, Emerson, what's going on?
Yeah, she's so cute.
Yeah, she is good. Anyways, that was my morning.
Yeah, that's a lot. So, well, best of luck here. We need an update as to what's the stuffy? Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, it's like a little Winnie the Pooh.
Gotta give us an update. So
I will. Hopefully everything goes okay.
Do you have a backup plan?
My backup plan is to contact that lady that said she'd give me hers.
Oh,
so, I did. I said, "I'll keep you in mind. Thank you so much." So
cute.
Yeah. And other than that, just not. If it doesn't come home with her, I'm just not mentioning it. I'm just not gonna until she says something. I will say nothing.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder how many of our toys were lost that way, and our parents were just like,
"Right?
I don't know what you mean."
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So weird.
Yeah. And the laundry again, I think.
You know what? And I've done that with a couple like small trinkets and stuff that I just like throw away, and then because they don't play with them forever, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Mommy, have you seen my purple slimy, goldfish?" And I'm like, "No, can't think of where it would be."
It turns up.
Yeah.
Oh no. So obviously we just had Christmas not long ago, and Aaron, my husband, and I were always like, we're not going to be a big toy family. Like, we don't need toys. We want to be adventurous. And again, these are the many naive things we've said when having children. And then Christmas happens, and we've always been like, listen, we'll have one little toy box, and as the toy box gets full, out comes old toys and goes the new ones. And you, Aaron, blessed us very, beautifully with a ton of awesome toys, and our toy room is like to be like rivaled. Like, we have families come over with their kids, and I just love our toy room. But now Everest's only 4 months and we already have so many toys. We've already started it here. So then we go to Christmas, unexpecting we're going to come back with so many toys. I don't remember where I was going with this, but I know packing to come down here, I was bringing like in the morning, I was like, okay, let me just grab the essentials, right? So monitor, sound machine, I'll grab this teething toy. And then I was like, oh, and that toy, and that toy. And that's now I have probably a whole suitcase full of toys. This guy, he's
4 months old.
He's probably like navigate his own fingers. And I've got all these toys. And down here, we've got like a whole section of all his toys. And like, I wonder the percentage of those that even get played with. But me, I'm like, oh, he did like that one time. Grab it. Oh,
I did see him look at that.
I could see him liking this in a couple weeks. Grab that. It's just like, we don't need all these toys anyway. I wonder how we're going to be down the line. Are we going to
I always said like I don't want a ton of toys too, but it's like almost out of my control because they get so much from like their grandparents and like, when they have a birthday party from all of their friends, their cousins. And I'm not going to be like when people ask, like, a lot of people sometimes they will get, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but we're taking them to Disney on ice instead of doing gifts. I think I did mention that. Instead of getting gifts for some of the cousins, which is great.
That was in episode 2. It never made it.
Oh, okay. So it didn't make it. So yeah, so we're taking them to Disney on ice instead of a gift with their cousins. But you can only do so many like experience gifts, and I find that's my dog in the background. I don't know if you can hear him. He's scratching.
I don't know if you can hear Everest.
He's jingle jangling. Anyways, I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, so you can only do so many experience gifts, and people sometimes like, I know my mom, she likes getting them stuff, and I'm not going to take that away from her, and that's fine. They like toys, but our basement is just full. I mean, we have the luxury of having like a huge space that like it's an empty basement where we can put all of the toys. But oh man, is it full?
Yeah, that is the ultimate play zone down there.
Yeah, and I actually just went through it too to like throw some stuff out. I actually have more for you if you want. Any of the ones that are like still in good working condition and are like the wooden toys. I know you like the wooden toys.
I do like the wooden toys.
And a lot of those ones that I have are from like they're for younger kids, so my kids no longer need them. So I keep those ones for you. The other ones I kind of get rid of. But
no, that's so fun. Yeah, we're gonna have to either pivot our view on no toys or start getting rid of some of these things because it's just too fun. It's too fun. Like
I know, and like Emmy is now at an age where she knows what she wants. Yeah. Like she knows what toys she wants because she like sees them. Like she went through all of the wish list books this year and like circled about 45 million things. And then we had her make a list of like the top 3 things that she actually wanted. So she actually like is interested in certain things now. She's like getting older. So
yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more specific. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted you to update on was how is Everest doing? Because last time we spoke, he was a bit ill.
Oh yeah, I feel like I do have so many updates. So much has changed in this last month. So yeah, so I think last we talked, I was listening back, and we had thought it was maybe a gastro bug or something. So
and you were doing an elimination diet as well.
I started an elimination diet. So I met with a naturopath, and she had said to also cut out eggs. So at that point, I'd cut out caffeine, dairy, chocolate, citrus foods. That's all I can think of right now. And then on the call, she said also cut out eggs. And then she suggested that I take a digestive enzyme. So with every meal I eat, to take a supplement that helps me digest foods. I already have a sensitivity to dairy on my own, even though it doesn't really impact my life. It has in the past, so that could affect it. So I take that with every meal. And then she suggested these little pellets. They're essentially like a stomach neutralizing, like acid neutralizer. When we'd gone to Emerge, so we ended up going to Emerge again. It was awful. There, they gave us like an acid reducer, so like a Tums. But the issue with that, the naturopath had said, if you take that Tums like supplement it lowers your acidity in your stomach. But when a baby's having these issues, it could be because their acid is too basic. So it'll just lower the acidity lower, right? Whereas we don't know if his acid is high or low. And so by giving the neutralizer, it'll either lower or raise it based on whichever issue he's having. So I don't remember what it was called exactly, but we ended up only having to use that a few times to help him in like emergency cases. But me, A, the elimination diet, and B, alcohol was the other thing I cut out. So the elimination diet and the digestive enzymes have helped like tremendously almost overnight. So last we talked, I was already doing the elimination diet. So I think it was 2 full weeks before I saw like any full change. I had a little bit of a slip up on Christmas, and boy, did we feel it. Like Everest had a really, really bad day. And that's when we took some of these acid neutralizers. But then maintaining this elimination diet with the supplement has really helped. Now I've worked back caffeine. I've been eating. I've had some citrus. It's going well. And I've had some wine. None that have bothered him. So the last 2 things are eggs and dairy, which are the 2 of the causes. So I'm still taking digestive enzyme with every meal. And probably in the next day or 2, I'll try an egg. And then a couple weeks after that, I'll try milk again. So we're trying to work those things back into the diet. But yeah, it's doing great.
And so within the digestive enzyme, is it supposed to, even if it is eggs and dairy, likely the things that are bugging him, will you be able to eat those things again with this digestive enzyme?
I think that's the theory. The theory is unless he has some sort of allergy, that I should be able to just take this digestive enzyme and it helped me break it down so that he can break it down easier.
Okay.
The other thought was some babies get like their gut flora like overpopulated, I believe. So we were giving him a probiotic and I was also taking a probiotic. So we cut out taking those because sometimes they can get too much. Like we were almost helping out his gut too much in a sense. So it was becoming overpopulated. So we cut out all probiotics. So that also in the future, we hope to
work back in.
So the thought is maybe there was an insensitivity, or maybe it was his like gut bacteria was overpopulated. And then some of these things are a little bit trickier to digest. It just was a bad combo. So by going cold turkey, now we can slowly work these things back. And all I know is my sweet boy is like now a playful little boy again. I can lay him on his back and he's playing. He even rolled yesterday from his tummy to his back for the very first time. So that was amazing. So now we're starting to see him like get back on track with play. And it's not just cry whenever he's not being held.
And his acid reflux has gotten a lot better. Yeah, it's gone.
Like,
good.
Even to the like it was before where it was a spit up with every feed, if not like a vomit, 4 or 5 times after every feed, with like screaming in agony. Like it was so painful for him. Yeah. Now it's rare to even have like a spit up. Just like a little.
And I'd like to say I'm happy for you that you have your caffeine back, because that's important.
That is huge. Yeah. So I switched just to like the decaf tea for a while, but the worst part is I've realized I don't care as much about the tea. It's the milk in my tea that I love. Like I like
really?
Yeah, because I've been having the decaf and I don't mind the decaf, but I was using like a coconut milk. My husband believes that the coconut milk was like the better option. So I was doing a coconut milk, but not like the creamy ones you put in soup. This was like a watery coconut milk, and it was do not recommend. It was if we're doing anti-swaps, that's my anti-swap.
This is an anti-swap. Okay. Add that to the list with the diet cheese.
Yes. Yeah. Fake milk products, no bueno. Like no.
I'm not a big milk fan myself. I don't really love milk. I was just talking about this with my dad yesterday because we were talking about eggnog, and I
love eggnog.
I really don't like eggnog at all. I don't like milk. I don't like eggnog. None of that. But I use almond milk a lot.
Do you like yogurt?
I do like yogurt. Yeah, it's not dairy that I don't like. It's just something about milk I don't love. And the eggnog I try to like.
What do you put in your coffee or tea? Oh, you don't. You don't put milk.
I don't. I drink black. Yeah. Like my tea right now, I just have black tea. I'm actually drinking I think you'd really like this. I don't know if you've tried it at my house. It's the specialty teas, David's Tea specialty teas.
Yeah,
it's like one of those, and it's a vanilla cappuccino tea
Ooh.
Yes, it's really good. It's really good. I really like it. But I just drink it black. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of honey in there.
Yeah.
But other than that, I typically just
Honey
don't put
jam.
anything in. Yeah, I know. I love
like
honey
a
too.
little bit of tea with my honey.
Yes, I'm the same way. I would love a big dollop of honey in there.
Oh,
Nothing like a nice dollop.
huh?
Word.
But like, can confirm, it's the milk in my honey milk in my honey. Yeah, that's probably
That is
true.
what it is. The milk and the honey.
The milk in my tea is like what I've been missing. So now I like have tried so many different oat milks this past month or so. And just this morning, I think I've landed on one. It's like an oat milk creamer. So it's made.
I was just about to say, what about the ones that are specifically made for coffee?
This is why I've been screwing up. So now I ordered 2. Okay, next episode we got to talk about my newfound love for Instacart. Obsessed. Anyway, so I ordered 2 different creamers, and I tried the one this morning. It's so much thicker. It's so much creamier. That's what I was missing, because I want it to change color. For me, I want it to be like a light browny color, like creamy.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. If I on a regular basis, day-to-day basis, I drink a nice black tea or coffee. If I'm having if I'm coming to your house and I'm having like a special coffee with a friend, I'll put a little fun creamer in it.
So fun. The oleato lattes.
Like over the holidays, I was putting extra
like
special creamer in it,
like
some
vanilla
alcoholic
or
creamer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I can't remember. My mom has this one. I don't know what brand it is, and I like Bailey's and rum chata and all of those things. But my mom had this one, and it was cappuccino flavored alcohol creamer, and it just enhanced the flavor of the coffee, and it was so good. And I don't I think I said this, I don't really drink coffee too much anymore. I typically drink tea now, but like on special occasions, especially like Christmas and stuff, I'll have a nice glass of coffee, a nice cup of coffee. And I had this cappuccino creamer, and it was so good. I'll have to see where she got it and get some myself so we can try it.
Yeah, next episode. Next interview.
Next time we're together. Next time we're together. I don't know. The next one might be a little meet call as well. But after that, next time we're together. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
wait, I wanted to know, did you have a swap for this week?
Oh, I do actually. I do have a swap. It was actually one of my Christmas gifts that Erin got me. So we are big on like having our daily drinks, like especially I don't know. I love I like my tea in the morning. Then after, I like to drink my electrolytes, and I have my protein shake. Like I drink my special drinks, and whatever. It is what it is. So we are always using these shaker cups, like.
Yes. Like with the little balls in them with the shaker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've been using them, and over time they get tattered or worn, and they start leaking, and I'm breastfeeding, and water's pouring all over me and the baby, and it's not great. And then Erin's new concern of microplastics. So the blender bottles are actually you can get them in metal now, and the seal is so much better. I don't know why. This is such a random swap, but for me, it's like I only use these ones now. It keeps it cold, right? So my drink is colder longer. I gotta go get it. Let me go show. Okay. This is it. Look how cute it is, first of all.
Oh, it's very cute. Okay, not what I expect. I thought it was just going to be the typical, silver shiny metal.
No, it's so cute. So, obviously, Erin knows I'm obsessed with pink. It got me this one and a purple one. The colors are all super nice. We got our brother-in-law a white one that's super cute, too.
Okay.
You won't love it. I'm calling it cute. But it can lock. So, you can pop it on lock mode, so it's you can't open it. If a baby gets it or anything, there's no way it's coming open.
Oh, nice.
Flick it unlocked, and then you push this little button in, and it pops open. And then
and you can blend it?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you blend it, but you put the ball in and shake it up like a protein shake.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's great.
So these are awesome. There's never any dripping.
And it's not plastic.
It's not plastic, it's metal. So they stay cold. And then, like I was saying, the seal is super tight. That's super important for me because with time, those plastic ones always get bent somehow, whether it's dishwasher or just use.
Yep.
always like the seal ends up like spilling out while you're drinking. So
Okay,
anyway,
amazing. Okay,
this is
so
very sweet.
along with your trying to get rid of some plastic things that we're using around our body and using to
Yeah.
eat and stuff like that. My swap this week
Okay.
is kind of on the same. It's not something that you drink out of, but so my kids have a bath mat, and me and this other mom have been talking about how bad it is to have the plastic bath mats. It's non-slip mats, so they don't
Like
slip
at
in
the
the
bottom of
bathtub.
the tub.
Yes.
Okay.
How bad they are to have the plastic non-slip mats because you're heating them up with all this hot water, and then they're sitting in the tub with all this hot water and these plastic mats. And who knows, like, that's probably terrible for them to be having their
Yeah.
bodies in there with that, right? So
Yeah.
so we've been looking, and some of them can be, there's some that are non-toxic, and they can be incredibly expensive, like the rubber ones. So we just found a silicone one, and it was
Okay.
on sale, so we're going to give that a try. So I haven't gotten it yet.
What does it do?
But
It suctions to the bottom of the tub?
yeah, it just suctions to the bottom of the tub so that they don't slip and fall in the tub, because the tub is very slippery. So my husband was like, why don't we just try it without a bath mat? It is super slippery, and my kids do, like, they're up and down trying to find toys, getting toys, doing this and that. They're still too little to try it. Once they're a little bit older, yeah, we'll probably do just no bath mat. But right now we're going to get rid of the one that we have, and we're going to replace it with this silicone one, and hopefully that's a little bit better for them. So I'm excited to try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like it, we'll have to share the link.
Yes, I will. Yeah. I'll let you know.
You know what scares me about bath things too is like mold buildup. Now that like we do like a bath with Everest every night, and we had these toys that had like the holes in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if there's holes in
I have a solution for this.
Yeah.
I had this problem. I've been there, so I've been through this. I was so upset because my kids had those toys with little holes, and they pushed it out the one day, and all of this mold came out, and my heart sank, and I was just like, oh my goodness, what can I do about this? So last year for Nora's birthday, my stepmom said, what do you want for her birthday? And I said, I found these toys that they're the little squishy toys, but you can actually open them up, so they twist open in half, and you can clean them all out.
Oh, nice.
And so they're mold resistant toys. So I will actually share the link for that, because I do really love them. I actually just cleaned them the other day, and you can you can get in all of the crevices, clean it all out, and dry them up.
So for Christmas, so Everest loves bath time. It's our favorite time. I was able to find, for our baby registry, we got all the fun little toys. I was able to find the same ones without a hole at all.
Okay.
So they still squish, but there's no holes, so there's no way for water to get inside it.
Right.
They're like
these
mold
ones are
resistant.
good because my kids like to squeeze them and spray each other in the face. So they like to play with it. They like to play with them that way because they're older now. So they like to actually play with them and
I forgot about the water bath.
Torture each other. So yeah, no, I love them. I'll share the link.
Okay, so we'll share blender bottle and bath mat,
toys.
bath toy. Yeah. Fun, cool. Yeah. Those are great
Sounds
swaps.
Good.
I like your swaps too because they directly impact us as a family. You're ahead of me. You're a few steps ahead of me. So
yeah, I know. So I know, but sometimes you have ones that I'm like, I didn't think of that. Your cleaner thing from last week, I'm still looking at that. I'm still thinking about getting that myself. So
with us here.
Yeah. So. Oh, did you?
Actually, that was on the episode that never aired. So I'll use that.
Gosh. Well, we'll have to talk about that next episode then again, because I do think we should share that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's something that a lot of people look for. I mean, I know for myself and a lot of the moms I've talked to, everyone's always looking for cleaner ways to clean your house. Cleaners. So let's talk about that next time then.
Sounds good. All right. Well, it was great chatting with you and catching up. And
yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed our little update episode. I know there wasn't a lot of topics this time, but we just wanted to update on what we're doing and where we've been. Yeah,
and we'll chat again in another week from now, and we'll do another update. And then you can, like I said, keep your eyes open for our Erin interview in February.
Yep. And
we'll keep going. We're so excited to keep you guys rolling and keep you guys included in our life. This is so fun.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.